I assume this probably goes for everyone. The first relationship is where you make your most mistakes. If your first relationship was bad, anything after that is gonna look like gold. But a lot of it will still not be. Before, it was like I would settle for absolutely anyone. The first guy to make eye contact with me, marry me. The more someone's not giving you, the more potential you're gonna see in them. It's important, in my opinion, to date multiple people. Hi friends, it's Mel. Welcome back to my channel. If you are in your second serious relationship right now, keep watching. Honestly, if you're in the dating world at all, you should watch. Between 5 and 6 years ago, I posted a video exposing my ex. I was very underdeveloped, okay? But he rebounded with, oh man, that's gonna be hard to use like friendly, not petty terminology. He met a female. He and I were living together, so it was obviously not officially over yet because we were living together still. And he was starting to see somebody else, but like hiding it from me and whatever. He and I were together for probably 3-ish, 4-ish years. But really the point of this is that there was no time between me and her. It was just one into the other. They might have made it official before he even moved out of the apartment that I was in with him. But then they got engaged very soon after that. And it's been 6 years now. And I don't think about this anymore. I don't think about him anymore. I used to be very, very upset and salty and resentful. Just, oh my god, it would trigger the hell out of me to think about this. Just out of curiosity, like every once in a while, like literally every few years, I will do a little bit of stalking to see if they got married yet. And it looks like they still haven't. I'm not really here to talk about whether or not they got married, why they haven't gotten married yet. They could be saving up for it. They could be having second thoughts. Who knows, right? Literally, who knows? They could be married and maybe it's just not, maybe I wasn't looking hard enough. Doesn't matter. The point is, he is still in his second relationship of his life. I was his first. I think I've heard that this is kind of a lot. Like, I think I told somebody once how many relationships I've been in, and they're like, that's kind of low-key a red flag. Like, you get around too much. And whatever, I don't know. Let me count really quick. I think 7. That's what I just got. And that's not including things in situationships. But to narrow it down, I guess, I think only 2 of those 7 relationships were at least a year. One of them was like right at the 1 year mark, probably 11 months. So yeah, a few long ones and then some not very long ones. The longest relationship I was in was with the guy that I'm talking about right now, who is now engaged, possibly married. It started in high school. I'm about to be 27, gross, but that was between the ages of 17 to probably 20. And he was about a year younger than me. So for him, it probably would have been like 16 and 19. We were each other's first serious relationship. We got our first apartment together. We went to college together for like the first part. And it was a lot of growing up together. We were in the age of figuring things out, figuring out how to be an adult. But the hardest part about that is like how to be an adult together as a couple with no experience. That was when the worst of both of us came out. That's when we're experimenting. I assume this probably goes for everyone. The first relationship is where you make your most mistakes. This is where you're the most abusive, the most manipulative. You're learning your attachment style comes out. Like, you don't really mess with that or know about that until you're in a relationship, usually. Sometimes it comes out in friendships too, if you're like that. I've always been like that. Like, my attachment style and my personality disorder, LOL, very much came through in my friendships as well, but really, really amplified in my romantic relationships. So my relationship with him was hell. It was really, really bad. It was the most like push-pull, argumentative, toxic, abusive,
stupid, worthless,
desperate. It was terrible. 10 out of 10 do not recommend this type of relationship. I should have broken up with him within the first 6 months. And the thing that's crazy is he did try to break up with me in the first 6 months, but I didn't let him. It was one of those because I was so afraid of abandonment. Even though he was not good for me, he was not treating me right, he was very neglectful. He also didn't have like the personality trait. Like, he wasn't even friendly, he was not even nice, he was not sociable. Like, he was the opposite of me, and just he did not, it wasn't scratching the itch. But he was my first serious long relationship, right? I didn't know what else was out there. It kind of was just, well, I love you. Love is not enough, by the way. Just saying. I love you. I'm gonna force this to work as if my life depends on it. I'm not gonna waste my time. I am not going to waste this potential. Yeah, he tried to break up with me a few times and I never let him. It was always an argument. It was me begging for him to stay, begging to make things work. It was just so much manipulation and fear, the need for control. I didn't realize how much of a controlling personality I had until that relationship. I was acting like his mom. I was giving him so much unsolicited advice. I was very bossy, like telling him what to do all the time. It was just not good. I was not good. He was not good. I was not good. Like, both of us really, really mistreated each other in a lot of ways, but I think we didn't know. Maybe there was not so much awareness about toxic relationships and red flags and what to look for and having standards and having self-worth. Neither of us had that. So we were both settling for each other. And I'm telling you, if I could go back in time, I would save myself those 3 to 4 years and just break the frick up with him. Not worth it. However, I did learn a lot. First of all, it helped me figure out what I wanted in following relationships, but also he literally brought out the worst in me, and I'm really grateful that I was able to figure out that early what my toxic traits are so I can work on that and not act that way with future partners. So I think that he had the same experience and opinion as me. The opinion of, this is the worst relationship ever. Anything would be better than this. And I think that's why he went and got engaged to basically the next girl that walked into his life immediately. I was really salty about it at first, but now that it's been 6 years and they're still together and probably still not married, it just makes me feel sorry. I traumatized him so bad that he saw just some girl and thought, oh my God, she is a goddess. She is nothing like the relationship I just got out of. And that's kind of the thing about the second relationship. There's 2 ways it could go. I'm talking about way number 1 right now, which is if your first relationship was toxic, your second relationship is gonna be like, where have you been all my life? I never realized things could be so easy. When can we get married? I don't wanna lose this. They look ridiculously good. But the thing is, with the limited experience that comes with only having been in one relationship before, comes kind of a skewed lens. If your first relationship was bad, anything after that is gonna look like gold. But a lot of it will still not be. So if anything would beat your first relationship, you still have to be really careful about settling for the second one, because that one might not be good either. Just because it's better doesn't mean it's great. And I think that's exactly what he did. I think that he went and found something better, and that's it. He was very underdeveloped as well. Both of us had a lot of growing up to do. And I've noticed about myself that the moment I enter a relationship, all of my self-improvement stops. It's not until I'm in a broken up phase or a single phase where I'm really learning resilience, strength, wisdom, everything just sinks in. So I feel like he never got that. I feel like he never got the chance to grow into the person that he could have been, because it was just one really, really horrible toxic relationship with me straight into another relationship. And it never ended. I hope he's doing better, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was still the same old him. I feel pitiful that he never got to experience more than 2 relationships. I took a complete opposite route. I got a lot of experience with a lot of different people. And I just know that the more people I've been with, the more I've grown, the more I've learned, the more self-worth I've acquired, the higher my standards have gotten, and the more better off I feel like I've been. Sorry if that wasn't English. Am I there yet? No. But am I closer? Significantly. It's not even funny. It's night and day, the person I am now versus the person I was then. So my second relationship felt magical. It felt like a dream. We've been together now for almost 6 months, and I'm so happy, you guys. Oh my God, I'm literally so happy with him. He's everything. I love him. Everything's going super well. He just makes me so happy. Oh my god. I feel so lucky that I get to actually, like, date him. Like, I never thought this would happen. He's such an angel. I literally love him more than anything. I do not know where I would be without him today. He changed my life so drastically. It's insane. I cannot even explain it to you. This was me talking about my second relationship, and that didn't work out either. And that was one of the long ones. That one probably lasted 2 years. So it's interesting that the first few relationships I had were the longest ones. And I think it's because I was still in that insecure phase of my life where I was so afraid to let go and so afraid to lose something because I genuinely didn't know what else was out there. And if I did, I didn't think I deserved it. So what I've noticed over the years is that my relationships have been getting shorter and shorter. That might on the surface look like a red flag, but to me, that is a victory. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of myself for pulling the plug as soon as I see that it's not going to work. Because what I used to do is force it to work as long as I can, drag it out until there's literally nothing left, when I saw the signs probably years ago that this wasn't going to work. There's an incompatibility, there's a lack of respect, there's a lack of trust that can't be earned back. There are signs, and I was always ignoring them. And now I'm so happy and so proud to say that when I see a sign, I'm out. And that has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with, oh, she can't stay in a relationship, she can't hold a no. No. It's got nothing to do with commitment. It's got nothing to do with loyalty. It has everything to do with self-worth and standards. I never had standards until adulthood. Only a few years ago, I started to realize what those were. Before, it was like I would settle for absolutely anyone. The first guy to make eye contact with me, marry me. You're the love of my life. I'm gonna think about you all day, every day. I'm gonna obsess over you. All of my eggs are gonna be in your basket, and you don't have to lift a finger. Let me tell you, honey, they need to do more than lifting one finger now. If I'm putting in more effort than they are, this ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. I used to always pull all the weight. The thing is, if the receiving party doesn't want to receive, it's like beating a dead horse. It's like you can beg, you can try so hard, and it's terrible. It's such a terrible cycle of, why am I not good enough? Why is it that there's nothing I can do? No matter what I do, I've tried everything. I put in so much effort, and he's just so disinterested in me. Literally, that's just not your person. The right person, you will have to do less than that. It will require less effort to get more output. And I don't mean this in an invalidating way, but just move on. You know what I mean? Obviously, easier said than done, but that's exactly what that means. If you are putting in more effort than the other person consistently and they're not appreciating you and you're just feeling exhausted and drained and confused and upset all the time, girl, boy, whoever you are, please get out. Please. There's so much more out there. There's billions of people. Come on, bro. Please look for red flags in your person. In my experience, whenever I'm in love with somebody, whenever it's the beginning stages of a relationship, I have a very hard time admitting to myself that they have any flaws. But it's very important that you are comfortable identifying and acknowledging those flaws because everybody has them. It's so much better to find the flaws that they have now and weigh out your option. Like, is this something I want to live with? Is this compatible? Is this something that, okay, this is just one of their quirks and that's fine? Or is it like, this is a deal breaker, wait, this is actually kind of mistreatment, this is kind of disrespectful, and then you either talk about it or you walk away. In my most recent relationship, which was probably 8 or 9 months, there were a lot of red flags from the very start, but it took me so many months to even admit to myself that there was anything wrong with him at all. I really just wanted to think he was perfect, he was an angel, he was a sweetheart. Deep down, I knew there were things about him that low-key I didn't really like, or I kinda don't like the way he acts in these situations. I don't like the way he responds to this. I don't like that he's not emotionally intelligent. I feel like I'm at the bottom of his list. I feel like everything comes before me. But it was such rose-colored glasses that I had for him, it was delusion. Really, it was delusion. I refused to see any of his flaws. I was so scared because, again, I was in a very vulnerable, very insecure state. I had lost all my self-worth. Like, everything about me was crumbling. When I met him, my self-esteem was really good. I was confident, but the more I got involved with him, the less I felt good about myself. The less happy I became, the less fulfilled I felt, the more my self-worth just diminished. And I think it was because, well, I was codependent on him. I've always had an issue with codependency. But I put all my eggs in his basket. He wasn't treating me right. So if the one thing that you're depending on in life is not coming through for you, you're gonna feel helpless. You're gonna feel hopeless and probably depressed. And yeah, it's just not good. I was not feeling very worthy. So I was treated by someone else as if I was unworthy. If you don't love yourself, you're not likely going to attract other people that will show you love. And I'm telling you, self-esteem is the difference between being in a toxic relationship and being single, being in a better relationship, like looking for better things. It literally all comes from inside. If you have that self-worth, you won't put yourself in a situation where you're not being treated right. And if you do find yourself in a situation where you're not being treated right, you will leave. You're not gonna be confused. You're not gonna be like, I don't know what to do. You're gonna be like, I know exactly what to do. I need to get out of here. It's just a matter of how do I do that? I lived with this most recent one, so it was a process. I had to find a place to live, like where I am right now, right? I had to line things up, and then I had to do it. And it was hard, but I'm so glad I did it. It was a very painful breakup. It was so sad. I was crying all day, every day for weeks, maybe a month. It was the first time in my life where I've experienced, I can't wait for Monday. Usually it's, I can't wait for Friday, yay, weekend, right? I despised weekends. I was apprehensive about Friday coming because the weekend would come and I would have nothing to do and I would just be in my room crying all day, all weekend. I looked forward to going to work Monday through Friday because at least I would have something to do for 8 hours. At least I would have some type of human interaction, some type of distraction. But then it got better, and somehow I started talking to him again. I don't remember exactly what happened. I'm not gonna try to remember what happened. All I know is we broke up. We did no contact for probably maybe 2 months-ish. And I was doing better. I was finally like moving on, getting happy again. And then we started talking again. And the mistreatment came right back. And the self-esteem went right back down. And this time I was like, no, it's over. Sorry, not doing it again. And it sucked so much less the second time. I think that everyone deserves a second chance, but not so much a third. You better have a really good, it's a slippery slope, dude. Someone who apologizes and then does it again, don't waste your time. If you cared, would you repeat your mistakes? No. If you were interested in someone, would you respond to their texts? Would you initiate hanging out with them? Yes. Just think about what you would do if you were interested and in love with someone or whatever the case may be. How would you act, right? Think, how would you act if you weren't interested in someone? You would probably lag on them, right? You would probably not prioritize them. If that's how you're being treated, like, I'm sorry to tell you, but that person is not interested in you, or at least not enough. It's so helpful to look inwards and be like, if I were to be acting like that, what would be going on inside of me? Why do you think you would act like that? I want to say everyone shows interest in the same way. Like, everyone who's interested will put in effort. And there are going to be people that are like, oh, but some people, like, they're shy, or they're afraid, or they have a, oh my God, like, what is it? A disorganized attachment style. Something like that. And actually, the more interested they are, the more they push away. Okay. That's not good, though. You shouldn't be with someone like that because they have work to do on themselves. They are not ready for a relationship. Attachment styles are fluid. Secure is accomplishable for everybody. I don't want you to think that whatever your attachment style is like, well, this is me forever. No. You can change your attachment style. Therapy helps. Being alone helps. And what I'm telling you is that it's very hard to be in a relationship if you don't have a secure attachment style. Any other attachment style, you need to work on yourself to get to a secure place. It's very hard to have a healthy relationship without having security within yourself. So if your argument is, oh, but the person I like has some attachment style that makes them push things away when they're interested, please let it go. Please do not commit yourself to somebody who does not display blatantly. Do you know what I mean? Actions speak louder than words. They can use that excuse. You can use that excuse for them. You can make excuses for them. Oh, but they're shy, but they're just different. They have all this childhood trauma. It's not their fault. Babe, how are they acting though? How do you feel? If you're trying to fix them, you're not in it for the right reasons. You should be with someone who's already whole. You should be whole and they should be whole. And you guys come together as a secure, attached couple. Securely attached. My most recent ex, the one that lasted like 8 or 9 months, I had him take an attachment style quiz early on in our relationship. We both took one side by side and he came out with secure. And I was very intimidated by that because my results were not secure. And I couldn't shake the feeling that he was better than me. He was more developed than me. He was more fulfilled than me. He had it together more than I did. But the more I got to know him and the deeper we got, the more I realized he was not securely attached. He was very, very avoidant. He was very numb, very emotionally closed off, very judgmental too. False test results. I don't know if he's lying to himself, he's lying to the test. I'm telling you, like, based off of everything, like, he checked every box. Avoidant. Please do not be with an avoidant. It's not worth it. It will drain the life out of you. That felt like the longest 8 months ever. It was excruciating. And again, it went on way too long. I should have ended it as soon as I noticed. And that's what I mean about identifying red flags early on. I was in such denial about his red flags that I wasted my time. What ended up happening is by the time I finally was fed up enough to acknowledge one thing that was wrong with him, there were already 10 more. Everything came crashing down so quickly. The moment I complained about one thing, it was just everything was wrong with him. He was doing everything wrong. I was not happy at all. I was not being treated right. I waited too long to address the initial problem. Really, what should happen is you notice a problem, you address it. You notice another problem, you address it. And this should all happen immediately, as soon as you notice it. Do not let things pile up to the point where you've got 10 different problems with him and you don't even know where to start. You're too afraid to say something. Once I started recognizing his bad qualities, though, basically the relationship was over. I addressed a problem. He didn't fix it. And it bothered me that he didn't fix it. So I addressed another problem. It was kind of just, okay, well, can you do this? He didn't do anything. He wasn't willing to put in any effort at all. It was so pathetic. And it made me realize if I had just asked him to put in a little bit more effort from the start, I could have seen for myself that long ago that he wasn't as serious as I was. It was so embarrassing to realize all at once that I was doing more than him because he wasn't willing to do as much as me. I gave him the benefit of the doubt before. It was, well, I haven't asked him to do this, so maybe he just doesn't know better. Ask him. You'll have your answer. Ask him to put in the effort. If he cares, he'll do it. If he really is interested in you, he'll do it. If he doesn't do it, you have your answer. It's literally just about what you deserve. You have to know what you deserve. We all deserve the same thing. Everybody, baseline, we're the same. None of us asked to be here. Nobody asked for their circumstances. If someone else deserves love, why would you not deserve love? Were you not also involuntarily born as an infant the same way they were? We all deserve it. If you think someone else deserves something, so do you. So the first experience, like I was talking about, that you can have with your second relationship is thinking that your second relationship is sent from the gods. It is everything you've been hoping for. It makes your first relationship look so bad, you want to marry them, right? That's scenario 1. Scenario 2 is the opposite. If you feel like your first love is the one that got away, your first relationship set the bar so high, and your second one is just, I don't love them the same way that I loved the other one. I don't know, this just doesn't feel right. There is something about the first love experience, and I've talked to a few people about this. Unfortunately, you kind of have to disregard that first relationship. If it was your first love and they have a hold on you like that, it's very possible that nothing will measure up to that. But that doesn't mean that there's not still something better out there for you. Whatever attachment and like sentiment you have associated with them, it's gonna last a long time. You have to really reassociate a lot of things. So it's either push through and just wait for that first person to try to escape your head, or if you really have a bad feeling about it, just let them go. You know, maybe it's too soon. Maybe you need to heal more. Maybe you need to be single for a little bit longer, or maybe that's just not the right person for you. Thank you, next, you know? My first love was a 3-month relationship. It was before the one I made the video about, but I don't even count it. He counts as a relationship in my head, but he was one of the shortest. It was nothing. When you look at it objectively, it was nothing. But he was my first love, and it literally took me 10 years, not exaggerating one bit, to finally let him go, to finally let go of the idea that someday we'll get back together and it'll be so cute. It was always the idea of him that I liked. He never put in the effort. He was flirting with my friends. He was a red flag from the very frickin' start. And I was head over heels for him. I'm a hopeless romantic. I love to come up with ideas and fantasies and what we could be. And think about all the stories we'll tell, all of the potential. Potential is the key word here. If you are so obsessed with someone's potential, you're not in it for the right reasons, and you're probably not with the right person, because the right person, you won't think about their potential because they're going to be showing you. Potential is the lack of something. Potential means think about what they could be doing. Think about what they could act like. Think about what our future together could be. The more someone's not giving you, the more potential you're going to see in them. There's nothing to fantasize or hope about if you're getting treated right. Anyway, so if you are in your second relationship and you're feeling like, why am I not feeling the same way that I felt with my first relationship? Why do I not love them as strong? Why is that first relationship still lingering in the back of my head? It's so normal and it's okay. And I promise with time, it will ebb away. It's new, it's fresh, it's different. Be fair to yourself, like think about it. Your brain has no choice but to compare the two relationships. Regardless of which one looks better to you, that's what's going on. Your brain is looking for connections, it's looking for familiarity, it's looking for repetition. It's comparing. If the only thing you have to compare it to was terrible, the second thing is going to look amazing. On a scale of 1 to 10, if your first relationship is a 1, you know what I mean? Like terrible, as bad as it gets. And your second relationship is a 2, like not as bad, but to you, your scale only goes from 1 to 2. So if this person is a 2, they're gonna look like they're maxing out. It's hard. It's all about perspective. And you don't know that you're working with a 2 out of 10 until you broaden your horizon. It's important, in my opinion, to date multiple people. You have to figure out what your compatibilities are, what your deal breakers are, what your needs are, what your wants are. You deserve to have things you want. Even if you don't need it, you still deserve to have what you want. You can have what you want. There is such an abundance of people, of potential partners for us. We can be as picky as we want, and it's not selfish. I think there's 2 different types of selfish. One is self-serving, where you're manipulative, you're negligent to others, you will do whatever it takes to have your way. The other type of selfish, I just call selfish, but I encourage this type of selfishness. It's where, in a considerate way towards others, You are putting yourself first. You can still make sacrifices for others sometimes, but you are not a doormat. You do not settle. Ever. You don't settle for mistreatment ever. It's being picky. It's being selfish, and that I know what I deserve and I'm gonna go get it. So if you're being mistreated, what I say to you is be selfish. Go find someone who won't mistreat you. I think that dating is very much trial and error. Might sound bad, and I really don't want to get anyone in trouble, but I encourage you to do more of it. Experience more. See other people. And I don't mean other people like go cheat on your partner. No. If you're in a relationship, love that for you. If you're in an unhappy, unhealthy, dissatisfying relationship though, no. Go branch out. But please break up with them first. Don't cheat, okay? If you're single, see what's out there. If you're seeing someone, see someone else. See a few people. Do not put all of your eggs in one person's basket. Not unless they are willing to do the same for you, and there is a literally mutual, which is hard to find, an actual mutual effort. And a good way to know if you have mutual effort is if you pull away. If you stop reaching out, are they still reaching out? Are you always the first person to text? If you stop texting, are you going to hear from them? Find out. Please trust your gut, first of all. Trust your gut. Your gut should know if you see a future with this person. If any part of you is saying, no, I don't see a future with this person, it's not going to happen. I challenge you to make this relationship shorter. Make each one shorter and shorter, because that means you're getting quicker and better and saving time at finding your standards and finding the right person. You're going to have a lot of people to sift through, more than likely. It's very rare that you marry one of the first few people you date. I watched a video that says the average person goes through full-on heartbreak, all the cycles, the whole thing, 7 times in their life. 7 times of absolute emotional turmoil, horrible mental health, the whole thing 7 times. Get on it, bro. I want you to get to your final destination more quickly than not. You know what I'm saying? I wish that I had sifted through people a little bit quicker. However, I do think that everything happens for a reason, and if I had met, the right person for me, if I had already met them a little bit earlier, they wouldn't have liked me then, it wouldn't have worked out then, whatever, right? But I think if you're watching this, I think that that's happening for a reason. Everything's meant to be, right? Save yourself some time. Get that experience early. Time is so precious. And so is your mental health. Like, just well-being. Feeling good, feeling worthy, feeling like you want to be alive on this earth. Feeling like life has meaning. Being with the wrong person will take all of that away from you. And if the shoe fits, embrace it, dude. Be like, sick. I'm in a bad relationship. Let's get out of it. What do I have to do? What's the first step? Is it moving out? Is it writing a script of what I'm going to say to them? Also, by the way, the less you say, the better. The more you say, the more you're giving the other person to argue with, the more chance you're giving them to try to change your mind. So if you're the type of person that feels really guilty for saying no and disappointing people, me too, I would come up with really bad excuses because I just didn't know how to say no. It would be, no, because I'm not mentally well enough. My mom said no, or sorry, I'm breaking up with you. Always a sorry, right? We don't have to apologize for saying no, but it's a really bad habit. I still do it too. Every reason you give someone for saying no, they can argue. They can be like, oh, well, if your reason is this, why don't you do that? They will try to they'll try to reverse it. They'll be like, oh, your mom said no, let me talk to her. Oh, can't I just say no? Oh, your mental health is bad, let me fix it. Have you tried going to therapy? Maybe you should work on your mental health so that you can get closer to saying yes to me. No. I'm telling you, if you just say flat out no, you're giving them nothing to work with. They can't argue with that. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid. You're going to have to say no anyway. It's just the easiest, quickest way. Just no, not hearing it, not arguing with you. No. You keep repeating yourself as often as you need to, as many times as it takes for them to stop. So my advice, rather than saying, I'm breaking up with you because of X, Y, and Z, just say, I'm breaking up with you. Period. Don't give them the chance to wiggle their way back in, argue with you, manipulate you. Also, don't give them the idea that they can fix it. Save both of you the time and the stress. If you give them reasons, they might convince themselves that they can change your mind or that they can do better. They might be truly in love with you. They might really want to make, changes for you. But if you're not happy, then dude, it sucks. You're gonna be in love with a lot of people in your lifetime, more than likely, and so will they. I sound wise because I've been through this so many times. I mean, if you want, knock yourself out. Watch that video that I made 6 years ago of my first relationship just ending. I'm unrecognizable. 6 years. It's crazy. 6 years is such just a little baby fraction of our entire lifespan. But oh my God, does experience grow a person. So if you're in your second relationship, let me know what your experience is. Let me know if there's more than 2 different ways that a second relationship can go. Look forward to hearing from you guys. Love you. Missed you so much. Let me know if you want to see more of this type of content. This is something I'm actually passionate about. This is something I have a lot of experience with. I love talking about relationships and self-love and exes and breakups. I love it. So if you liked this, please give it a thumbs up. This sounds so robotic and I hate it. I'm sorry. I don't mean for this to sound scripted at all. But if you give me a thumbs up, that's how I'll know you like it, and then I'll make more. And also right now, my subscriber count is so low that if you subscribe after watching this video, I will know that this video was the reason you subscribed. Until next time, friends. Love you, miss you, bye.